Ladies and gentlemen, Gene DiNapoli.
Hi, everybody. Happy Monday. Welcome to Reminiscing with Gene DiNapoli. Hope everybody's enjoying the winter. It's getting a little colder here and there, but we got a hot show for you tonight. As you know, we started this podcast a couple of months ago to break the monotony of being stuck at home. And my first guest is a gentleman that I've done multiple shows with, promoting-wise and performing-wise. And I've never lost money when I used this gentleman, whether it be a high school or a theater or a restaurant. I might not have made a lot of money, but I never lost money with this man. So I thought he'd be a great first guest to start off our podcast. Unfortunately, he was feeling under the weather back in September. Why did I shave? I shaved because the beard. We'll talk about that later. But I had to get the sideburns back for a show. But anyway, getting back to our show tonight, I'm so tickled and so grateful for this man because our relationship goes back 35 plus years. So we're going to mention our sponsors later. Want to get right down to the nitty gritty. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the very best vocalists in show business, not only in the doo-wop era, not only in the standard era, but in any era this man covers, his vocals shine through. Anthony, my producer, will you please bring in the one and only lead singer of a group called the Earls, Mr. Larry Chance. Ladies and gentlemen, Larry Chance. Hi, Larry.
Hi, Gene.
How are you?
Good.
Who's that?
That's Nico.
Hi, Nico. Wow. It's great, Larry, to finally get you on the show. You know, me and you go back a long, long way. And I don't know if you heard, every time we've done a show together, you've always been my good luck charm. And I thought it'd be a great way to start off this year.
In that case, you didn't pay me enough.
You know what? You're right. If I had to pay people like you on their talent, I need to hit lotto. But you weren't feeling good back in September. You sound great right now. So are you back to normal?
I'm back to normal. Well, vocally.
Vocally.
Mentally open to discussion.
Well, you know what? First off, let's get this out of the way. Happy belated birthday to you.
Thank you.
You just celebrate. We were together last year in my restaurant, the Stone Mill, when you did your jazz show. And yep. I got to sing to you, happy birthday. And that was the last time we crossed paths. Yeah. So, Larry, I got to tell you, you have gotten so many wonderful comments when we started to announce that you were going to be here. It seems like you're related to everybody in the Bronx, but yet you're not a Bronx boy.
Well, I am a Bronx boy.
Oh, yeah, by proxy.
My heart's in the Bronx.
Yes, but you come from Pennsylvania.
South Philly.
Which a lot of people don't realize that.
Till I was 15, yeah.
15.
I had the best of both worlds.
Yes, you did. And the funny part is you personify, you along with the Dion and the Belmonts and a couple of other, you personify Bronx doo-wop. So it's funny how you did this. So you moved here when you were 15. When you lived in South Philly, were you singing already?
Oh, yeah.
What age did you start to develop the vocals?
6 years old.
6 years old?
Yes. In school, I did something called the Baker and the Pieman. And I was the baker. And I got applause, and that's what I wanted from that day on.
Wow. Were any of your family members in show business?
No.
So when you went home and you told your mother and father, what was their reaction when you said?
Well, I never told them, but I will say this: I never forgot when I came home and I said, "Dad, I just made a record. It's getting played on the radio. Get a man's job." That was always that. So get a man's job.
What did Dad do?
Construction.
Construction. Okay, so you made your first record and you started singing. Have you ever held? I don't want to say a real job because singing.
Yeah, I have.
You have. What did you do?
Well, at one point I worked for All Boroughs Masonry, working a 65-pound jackhammer, putting a new floor in the Bronx Beach and Pool.
Wow.
Yeah, and sidewalks. Then I worked for the Nash Fence Company in Mount Vernon, New York, digging holes and mixing concrete. So I've done it all.
And of course, on the weekends, you were doing your music.
Yes, and there were times I was working 6 nights a week and 6 days a week.
Right. Before we get into that, because a lot of people don't realize that years ago there was work 6 nights a week. Our good friend Sally G, the ambassador of Doo-Wop, sent me a picture, which I never seen this, but you had a group. You were part of a group called Fort Jackson and Jill.
Yes.
Anthony, put that picture 1960. Would that be 1960?
Probably around 1960, yeah.
Wow.
It's a short-lived group. Bob Marico, who's kneeling on the floor on the, well, as you look at the picture on the right, he eventually became an Earl for a while.
Okay. So you didn't record?
Group.
Yeah. Did you perform with them? Did you get gigs?
Yeah, we did some gigs out in Queens and Long Island.
And it was a doo-wop group?
Kind of.
Well, what else did you do besides the doo-wop? Did you do standards? Did you do rock and roll? Standards. Yeah. Standards. You know, that was another facet of your career, which we're going to touch on. And then you got the 1962, Anthony. This is the picture. Now, Larry, where is this? Does this ring a bell with you?
City Island Playhouse.
City Island Playhouse.
Long before we ever recorded, Larry Palumbo is standing next to me in that photograph, who passed away shortly after it was taken.
Right. And who you dedicate, I believe, to every show.
Yes.
Larry was unfortunately killed in an air jump.
Well, actually, people think it was an air jump, but he was a paratrooper, and he developed a blood clot, and he went into coma for 6 months.
Oh my!
And then passed.
Sorry to hear that. But you were the Earls at that point, correct?
Yes.
All right. When was the Hi-Hatters? Was that before the Earls?
That photograph you just showed was the Hi-Hatters.
That was the Hi-Hatters.
That was the Hi-Hatters.
Wow.
And our plan was to go out and get patent leather shoes, spats, white tails and tucks, white gloves, top hats, canes, the Hi-Hatters. So I went home. I said, "Hey, Pop, I need some money for some clothes." And I told him, and his words were, "Get a man's a job."
Get a man's a job. That's amazing. But what was Mom's take on music?
Mom used to slip me money.
Mom used to slip you money. Of course she did.
And don't tell your father.
Don't tell your father. Now you tell a story about how you came up with the name the Earls. Is this true?
It's true.
That if you were a 1/4 inch up the page, you would have been known as the Ears?
True.
Well,
you know what it was? When we weren't going to use Hi-Hatters, we, of course, needed to come up with a name. And each guy had a different idea of what the name should be. So I thought, well, let's do this. I'll open up a dictionary, and I'll put my finger in it. Whatever it lands on, we'll call the group that name, right? They all agreed, opened it up. Earl, nobleman of high rank. I said, well, we're the Earls. And that's how that came about.
That's simple. That's amazing. That's amazing. So you came out the Earls. Now you did some gigs before the records. right?
Oh, yeah.
And you were doing cover songs. When you did the cover songs, what did you do? What type of stuff? Before you had your own?
Flamingos, Moonglows.
Wow.
I always liked black music.
Right. Sure. That's fabulous. We got a picture, 1962, Anthony. I think this is your first promo pic of the Earls, if I'm correct. Anthony, 1962. Nope, sorry. Maybe the next one. Nope. That's Jack and the Jills. Nope, that's 1970. Where do you got the earlier picture, Anthony? 1961. Yeah, there we go. Larry, is that the first incarnation of the Earls?
Yes, that's 61.
61. And
that's Life is What a Dream. That was in 61.
So who's the guys? Who's the guys?
The what?
Who's the guys behind you?
To the left is Bob Delden.
Mm.
His son is John Ray, who unfortunately passed away this week.
Oh.
And to the right of him is Eddie Harder. Eddie's living up in Saugerties, so we stay in touch.
Fabulous. So then you guys record for Old Town, your first major hit. Remember Then?
Yes.
And right away, it was a fan favorite. Well, right away.
Well, what happened was Murray the K had a contest every night called the Champ Record of the Night. And we had and people would call in and vote. So we had every kid in the North Bronx with a pocket full of dimes. And we broke all kinds of records.
Wow.
And we won for the night.
Right.
And then all 5 nights would have a winner. On Saturday night would be the Boss Record of the Week. And then we flooded the station with calls, which guaranteed us 2 weeks of airplay. And with that, the song took off.
Fabulous. Anthony, we're going to play a little bit of the first song. This is what is known as quintessential Bronx doo-wop. Play a little bit of Larry's first hit with the Earls. Remember Then.
All right, let's go back and remember then. Well, you gotta put your hands right about here. Come on. Come on. Come on. Last night we fell in love beneath the stars above. Now that was a lovely summer night.
Fabulous. Larry, I'm in the bars, I'm in the clubs, and whenever that song starts, everybody snaps to attention, and they just get into it. It's really a catchy tune. Did you have a hand in writing that?
No, just the background parts.
Just the background parts.
Yeah.
Now we see in that video that you're one of the few doo-wop acts that was self-contained. So that you were like one of the first foregoers of that.
I think so.
Yeah, no, we've done our research, and that's the first thing. And then, of course, the second song, which was really, I love the way you do this in your concerts, Looking for My Baby. That's another one that's very heavy on the vocals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was written by T.J. Mora.
T.J. Mora, yes. Anthony, play a little bit of Looking for My Baby.
Would you please help me welcome a legendary artist in his group, million-selling hit songs. Ladies and gentlemen, Larry Chance and the Earls.
Doo-wop started on the street corners And there was no music. We just made music with our voices. And it was great because that's all we needed was a street corner, a park bench. And we just sang. I think we ought to take you guys back. So, I don't know, back to the 50s and do it. Well, you gotta put your hands together all over this room, just like this. Come on. Oh, a little bit of help on her. No, I think they're ready. I said, now look up on my baby, look my baby, run, little chicky wawa, run, little chicky wawa, run, little chicky wawa, look up on my baby, look. Oh, I'm looking for my baby. Where can she be? Well, someone hear my plea and send her back to me. Look up on my baby, look. You know my baby's gonna let me all alone and look.
Great. That's the epitome of quarter doo-wop in my book. Really. That's just unbelievable. Three-corner harmony, absolutely. So you have the first couple of hits, you wind up on Murray Decay, and then you did American Bandstand, right?
Yeah.
How many times?
First time in 61 we did it. And that was great to go back home to Philly. You know, it was great. When I was a kid, growing up in Philly, the show was called Bandstand.
Right.
And the original host was Bob Horn. And he kind of played around with one of the young ladies, got fired, and Dick Clark took over shortly before the show went national.
Mm.
And I remember thinking, someday I'm going to be on this show, but as a performer. And I came back, and it was a thrill.
I'm sure it was. And I'm sure...
fulfilled.
What was that, Larry?
A lifetime dream fulfilled.
At such an early age, but you've had so many other accolades, which we're going to get into, that probably, they might not be on the same level as Bandstand, but I'm sure they are very near and dear to your heart. One thing you do is you keep reinventing yourself. And in late 62, 63, you had a song called Never, which, of course, was another doo-wop song. But you recently transposed it into a love song. And your fans really took to that just as much as they did when it was an upbeat tempo song.
Well, I always felt people take slow songs and jazz them up. And I wanted to do the opposite. Take some kind of fast song and make it a ballad.
Mm.
And it works.
It does work. And God bless her soul, Aunt Cookie was the one that told me about Never. She gave me a copy of it. And
I miss Cookie.
We all miss Cookie. We all miss Cookie.
Quite a gal.
Yeah, she's with us all the time, of course.
Yes, she is.
Yeah, and her and Bobby and everything. Now, you stayed with Old Town for a long time, right?
About 4 years, 5 years.
4 years, 5 years.
Yeah.
And in that time, were they trying to get you to become a solo artist at that time?
Well, they were trying, yeah. In fact, I did a solo recording.
Yeah. You did it's on one CD, Let Them Talk, right? Yeah. How did you feel being a solo guy that was brought up in a group setting? Was it unnerving to you?
No. I remember I wanted to stay with the group. And he said, I want you to do a song Murray the K's mother wrote.
Mm.
Promise her anything but give her love. And I said, I want to stay with the group. Take a chance. I want to stay with. Take a chance. Larry Chance, that's going to be your name. And he began to put on the Earls records, the Earls, featuring Larry Chance. And that's how I got that name.
Wow. Wow.
I was Figurito, which became Chance.
You know, so many people say, you know, when you talk about Italian singers, your name's always thrown in the mix.
Yeah.
It's
a good feeling.
It's a good feeling, right?
Oh, yeah. There's so many great Italian singers.
Yeah.
So to be, you know, in that class, wonderful.
Yeah. Now, one of my favorite songs, which I used to put in our unofficial contract between me and you. I used to say, Larry, you got to do Eyes. And I remember you didn't do it for a while, but you always did it for me. Did you pop it out of the show for any special reason, or you like to mix things up?
I kind of resented that song because it started to go up the charts, and the Beatles came along and just killed it.
Mm.
And the Beatles killed doo-wop, really.
Yeah.
In my humble opinion, the British invasion was, you know, the end of doo-wop.
Right. I'd like to play a little bit of that for our listeners and viewers, if you don't mind, Larry.
I don't mind, boy, Joe.
Anthony, play some song.
You know.
Play Eyes, Anthony.
Eyes, listen to me. Don't shed a tear. Oh, eyes, listen to me. Not while my baby's here. Oh, I don't want my baby to see me cry. Don't shed a tear when my baby's here.
Great. You know, Larry, we can't play the entire song because of reasons, but we do this so people could go to your website and purchase the old songs on CDs or however they're going to do it. Because a lot of people, they think that people like you are one or two hits define your career, and it really doesn't. You're multifaceted, you're multi-talented. So, you know, we want people to know you're not just Remember Then and I, but you're much more than this. So we always have people ask, well, where can we get that song and how do we get it? And we always say, well, go to the website. And your website, we're going to mention it twice tonight, is LarryChanceandTheEarls.com, right?
That's it.
LarryChanceandTheEarls.com. And all your music is on there for purchase, including some of your newer projects. Which we're going to get to. But, you were saying that you work 6 nights a week. Was this all local work, Larry, in the Bronx and Westchester? Was there enough work within a 5-mile radius to work 6 nights a week?
Oh, no doubt about it. Plus, we did the Manhattan circuit, too.
Really?
Headliner, Peppermint Lounge, Barney Google's, all those places. And all was 6 nights a week.
6 nights a week.
Yeah.
Now,
from 10 to 4 a.m.
10 to 4, 6 hours, 6 nights a week.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. That's when your voice used to be like leather, right? That's what you say. It was like leather. Like leather. Now, you stepped away from the doo-wop for a little bit. I remember once you said you had a band called Smokestack. Am I correct?
Yes.
And what music did you play with that group?
Well, what happened was when doo-wop went to sleep, let's say, when the Beatles were popular, and well, we had to keep working, so we became a 6-piece, actually 9-piece rock band. We did a lot of Osiris Family Stone type material, and continued to work with a horn section. In fact, we recorded a song called, which people can get on YouTube, called The Wall Between Us as Smokestack.
The Wall Between Us.
That was on Daisy Records.
Wow. Smokestack. And then besides that, now you were living here in the Bronx at the time, or Westchester?
Yes.
Right. So it was easy. But now you live a little farther up the line, and you found a niche in the Catskills for many years.
Yes.
But you weren't Larry Chance of the Earls, because I remember I saw you. It could have been at Kutch's, or I'm forgetting. I was very young, but I went to see you with my dad, and you did Larry Chance show,
right.
which was a lot of standards.
Right. I wouldn't let them mention the Earls because I wanted to keep the two acts separate.
Right.
Because the Earls also got to work in the mountains.
Mm.
So I had to keep them separate. If you wanted to hear Remember Then you had to buy the group.
Right.
But I got to work with Joan Rivers, Red Buttons. The biggest names in show business. Was wonderful.
Oh, I could imagine. Yeah, I could imagine. That went on for a long, long time, didn't it?
Say it again?
That went on for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Until the hotels closed.
Right.
Now, we were the last. A trivia question for you. The first act to ever work the main room of the Concord was Harry Belafonte. The last group or act to work it was us.
Wow.
We closed the Concord.
That's some people played at nightclubs and they close nightclubs, but that's fabulous.
Well, we closed the Riviera too. That's a funeral home.
Somebody just mentioned that they used to see you at the Riviera Lounge.
We went there for a 2-week engagement. We left 107 weeks later.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Being held over.
Oh my God! That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you weren't there 6 nights, were you?
5 nights a week.
5 nights.
Yeah, 3 nights downstairs room, 2 nights, the weekends upstairs, where we got to work with Patti LaBelle, the Four Tops, Jackie Wilson, everyone. Every week was a different act.
Yeah. Billy Vera was on our show about a month ago, and he mentioned you at the Riviera with the Tops and Patty. He mentioned that.
Well, Billy was often would come in as a conductor for different acts.
Yeah.
Billy and I go back a long time. He's a great guy, an incredible talent. One of my idols.
He really, and he said the same thing about you. So now you were living still in the Bronx then?
I was living in the Bronx till I started to work up here.
Right.
Then I just moved up here.
So you moved up there, and then you went and you started to work with Imus in the city.
Yes.
So you had to travel home to there to do that.
1 day a week.
1 day a week.
1 day a week, I got to do all the production for the week. And it was great. I did a character called Geraldo Santana Banana.
Yep.
Who ran for the presidency of the United States. And 1984, I got write-in votes for the presidency. And then I did a character called Rainbow Johnson and the Boys.
Right.
And, I've always liked to do comedy. And there's comedy in my act always.
Yes, there is. There is. And you know what, Larry? I'm not saying anything that I shouldn't say, but your comedy is as expected of you as your hits. People used to come see you to, say, we come to hear Larry and his jokes. And that's a certain great attribute to know that you're loved not only for what you want to do, but for sideline stuff as well. So that's a great testament to you.
Gene, I told myself years ago, I want to be a complete entertainer. I don't just want to be a singer. I want to be an entertainer. And I want people to leave saying that was fun. And that's what I do.
I don't think anybody alive would disagree with you, Larry. You and the boys are known as some of the finest entertainers to ever grace any stage, which is why you, before this pandemic, you got hired over and over and over again for the same shows. You know, you had to do your hits. Maybe you threw one or two or three different songs in, but your act year to year over the past 20 years was basically the same. And people still would call the local politicians and say, we want the Earls back. So that's a great testament to you and the boys. Bobby, who's been with you since 1963. Bobby's watching. We want to say our prayers out to Bobby Trabuzio. So glad that he's on the mend. One of the world's greatest drummers to ever grace a set of skins. You know, when I DJ parties, Larry, I always play your disco version of Tonight is the Night. Always. I always get people.
That's a swinger.
It really is. It really is.
That one broke my heart. I thought we had a hit. It got great reviews. I remember California Disco Association said hottest record of the month, blows my hat off. Billboard, pick of the week. And I think you got Spotlight single and a few other. It was just a heartbreaker when it didn't make it.
You might not have made it on the charts, Larry, but it is a staple in a lot of people's memories. As all your songs are, they're just embedded in people's youth. I'm, of course, a little younger than the average person that follows doo-wop, but I do know that whenever we hear the Earl songs, it makes us perk up a little more than normal. Speaking of a song you thought was going to make it, you know, of course, there's me and you right there, Larry. See us? Right behind me? And yeah, you know, of course, my idol is Elvis, and you're a self-proclaimed Elvis fan as well.
Love him. Loved Elvis.
Yeah. And you recorded a song under a pseudonym because you guys tried to capitalize on the Elvis is everywhere moment. And you recorded a song called He's Alive. And
right.
You had a lot of aspirations for that, right?
Oh, yeah. We thought we had a hit. It's a good song, you know. I loved Elvis. He was electric. There was no other performer like him.
Right.
And everybody saw him out shopping in the mall. And, so we wrote a song, you know, Butchie Barbella and Artie Lauria and myself. I wrote the bridge.
Right.
And, yeah, it was a good song.
It's a great song. And you just mentioned Art Lauria, our good friend who's no longer with us. We wish him heavenly powers. Daniel's doing great. We stay in touch. Oh, yes, absolutely. And, you know, I just recorded that a couple of years ago. I did my own little version of it, and we do it in the Elvis shows. And everybody wants to know, you know, where it came from. And we always give you props and always give you the due respect that everybody involved with that song deserves. No, my pleasure. And thank you for allowing me to do it. And you had a steady residency in Atlantic City for a couple of, a little more than a couple of days, right?
Oh, Atlantic City. We worked summers there, and there were times we do 26 weeks a year there. We were nominated Best Musical Act a number of times, and that was also exciting for me.
Yeah, and you worked with the gentleman we just lost, of course, a few months ago, Sal Richards.
The great Sal Richards, yes, Sal, and we worked with London Lee and a number of other comics, Pat Cooper and so forth.
You know, every time I have a guest on my show, I ask them, you know, the future. Do you see a book in your future, Larry?
I just finished a book. I'm going to read another one next year.
I can't. You're just so amazing. You really are. But what do you think? Have you ever written down your memoirs?
No. No, I don't think I'm deserving of anything like that. No.
Don't you say that.
No, my life was nothing, It was just working 6 nights, doing what I love, and I don't know. Maybe one day.
I think you should take this time of the COVID pandemic and talk into your recorder or your phone and tell the stories, because they're going to be lost forever if you don't share them.
Well, I'm still writing songs.
Yes.
I don't know if any of them are going to be any good, but I'm still writing. And, right now, I get worried about the guys because we're getting older. As you said, Bobby T is convalescing right now from bladder cancer. And so far, so good. He's coming along. We've been together for so many years, longer than most marriages, I would say.
Right.
57 or 58 years.
That's amazing. That's amazing. You got a lot of comments here, Larry. We'd line up at Barnes & Noble for the book. You're getting comments right here. People, are you kidding me, Larry? Your life itself is a book. Never mind who you worked with. I mean, we're getting so many great comments. You should contemplate it. And you never want to sit on your laurels or your past. You're constantly reinventing yourself, which you did recently. I would have never thought that my favorite doo-wop group would record country music. You went to Nashville.
Yes.
And you recorded a country album.
Yes.
What was that experience like? And how did it come about? Were you a country fan?
Always. I don't like the twang kind of country, but Elvis and Ronnie Millsap I love.
Oh yeah.
Performers like that. So Ray Charles singing country I loved. And country music is just another outlet. I love trying everything. Listen, we even did a polka.
You did a polka with Jimmy Sturr. With Jimmy Sturr. But I could see
that.
What?
Don't Be Cruel polka.
I know, I have it. But I could see you doing a polka faster than you could do country. And we're going to let our viewers right now see a little bit of one of the songs off your country. What's the title of the country CD, Larry?
I think it's called Larry Chance Sings Country.
Larry Chance Sings Country. Anthony, give me song number 4, please. And let.
Could ever be. For when I wanted you, I was so lonely and so blue. For that's what love will do. And darling,
fabulous. Was it easy to do country, Larry?
I guess. It's not that much different, The vocal track, of course, with the steel guitar, right. But not much different vocally.
Right.
I just close my eyes and sing, and whatever comes out is it.
Well, you're the consummate vocalist in my book. And you know, Larry, I've been an advocate of you for many years. Every time I do a show, the Earls have been on it. I took management of a few restaurants, and the Earls were always part of my series. And then last year, I brought you in with Bobby T to do the Bobby T trio, jazz trio, with you singing lead. And you turned me on to a song which I can't get enough of. When Joanna Loved Me.
Great song.
Great song. How do you find all these niches? Doo-wop, standards, country, jazz. How do you find this? I mean, it can't
I just like all kinds of music. You know, my roots are in doo-wop. My main love will always be doo-wop. But I as an artist, you want to branch. You want to do other things.
Mm.
You know, you don't want to be locked into one. It's like an actor who's locked into one. He's either a Western star or a bad guy or a good guy. Why do you have to be that?
Right.
Why can't you just be an actor, a role, period, whatever it is?
Right.
And I try to do that with music.
And you do. And I will tell you that once this pandemic is over, I would love to be the first promoter to bring the Larry Chance Country Show to a venue.
I'm going to start to get dressed right now.
Excellent. We got a picture of one of your LPs. Anthony, bring this up. This is an LP. This has to be the mid '80s. Am I correct?
Mid '80s, absolutely.
Mid '80s. And of course, you got this one. You got Remember Then, Remember When. You have one of my favorites, Larry Chance and the Earls Live, which really shows your showmanship on that. But let's go back. You're involved in two anthems, Larry. We want to talk about a song that you co-wrote, or you might have wrote the whole thing, which is taking on a life of itself, a cappella with my friends. It seems that people yearn for a taste of the old today. I'm going to go back to Kenny Vance with Looking for an Echo. I'm going to go to the Capris with Morse Code of Love, released in 1983, but sounded like 1961. And a cappella with my friends. That seems to have taken on a life of its own.
That was written by myself and Bobby Coleman, our bass singer.
Yeah.
And you know what's been an honor for me and very humbling is that many other acts are doing it in their shows, which tells me they like it. You always love to be appreciated, and that's the sincerest form of flattery.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You did that for my father and my niece at the Westchester Dinner Theater, which is no longer there, unfortunately, and they never forgot it. Let's show one more picture. The current lineup of the Earls. Okay, so there you are in the middle. To your immediate right is your partner of 57 years, probably one of the most underrated drummers in the business, Bobby T. Tribuzio. What?
Fine player, very versatile, terrific jazz drummer.
Listen, he shared the stage with you and Gene Krupa. Okay? I think he's in good company. Yeah. Right next to him is the gentleman you wrote a cappella with my friends, Bobby Coleman, who's an old and dear friend as well. And Bobby, to let everybody know, he's an accomplished musician. I think he holds a degree in music.
He has a master's and 2 masters and a bachelor's.
Wow.
2 masters from Columbia, and he went also to Iona.
Unbelievable. To your immediate left with the guitar, Chuck Maurizio, a Jersey boy. Chuck's been with you many, many years.
Not as many as Bob Coleman. Bob's been with us about 35, and Chuck's probably with us about 20 years.
I never forget the day that Bobby Coleman walked into a bar called Delicinos on Tremont Avenue, and he had an Earls jacket. He just became an Earl, and I says, "What's up?" He said, "I just became an Earl." I said, "Oh, does that mean you're digging for Earls?" And he didn't think it was funny. He didn't talk to me for about 2 weeks after that. But we love it. But we got one more guy in the picture, Anthony. Go back to that picture because you're an all-Italian group. Tell us about the gentleman behind your left shoulder. He's Italian, isn't he?
No. Well, he's got some Italian in him. Vito Garcia. Vito's a very talented, accomplished bass player, keyboardist, trombonist, guitar player. He does it all. Incredible talent.
Unbelievable. And when things get back to normal, this is your current lineup today,
Yes.
right? And
Yes.
Jimmy Fracassi, he shows up once in a while.
Yeah, Jimmy's a great player and spent many years with us. So it's always fun to invite him up to do a few numbers with us.
Yes, great guitar player. So, Larry, just a couple of accolades that I want to mention. You got the BMI recognition of musical work for He's Alive, right? You got the best musical act in Atlantic City a few times. And then a couple of years ago, you got the ultimate recognition that could be given to anybody from the Bronx. You were inducted into the Bronx Walk of Fame.
Yeah, that was very humbling too. I mean, when you consider the people, Bobby Darin and Ann Bancroft, the list goes on and on. And to be among them was very much an honor.
They considered it an honor when you accepted it. I know that for a fact. So you're going to be forever immortalized here in the Bronx. But up by where you live, I heard that they renamed a certain dish after you. So now you're recognized where you live. Is this true? There was a breakfast named after you?
Yeah, Larry Chance cream cheese omelet.
The Larry Chance cream cheese omelet. This is...
On the menu that way, yeah. But I also received a recognition from the county.
Yes.
Which was very humbling also.
And that was
kind of a citizenship award.
The Distinguished Citizenship Award.
Yeah.
Let me ask you something. When you go out where you live, do people recognize you and know?
Do, yeah.
They do?
Mm-hmm.
They do. It's funny because you get a guy like the lead singer of Chicago. He could play Madison Square Garden and then 2 hours later be in a local diner and nobody knows who he is.
Well, you know what it is too, because I worked the hotels for years, and many of the people who grew up in this county worked in the hotels in some capacity. So I got to know so many of them on a first name basis. And I've always been one to mingle with the help anyway.
You mingle with everybody, which is why you're the people's entertainer, Larry. I know when I do shows with you, if I say, Larry, I don't have a big dress room, you say, no, I'm going to be in the mix. And I go, you don't want to be backstage? You said, no, I want to greet them as they walk in because I'll never forget this. You know, Larry, I worked with Joey D. I traveled with him for years. I model myself after Elvis with how he lived his life. But you are one of my mentors. And I don't know if that means anything to you, but to me, your friendship and what I've learned from you elevates me to do a little better than I think I can. And I want to thank you for that. You've always been a friend. Oh, yes. One other accolade you got, East Coast Hall of Fame. That was again humbling because
I got a Lifetime Achievement Award along with Bobby Rydell and Johnny Maestro. And, I never consider myself quite at that level. So to even be mentioned with people like that, Connie Francis, was an absolute humbling experience. That's a great organization.
Yeah, we hear a lot about it, and we're thankful that they're giving the people that can't get the proper accolades the accolades they deserve, such as yourself. But you say
Johnny Maestro belonged in the Hall of Fame in Cleveland while he was alive, and they're trying to get him there now. But what would it mean now? He's gone.
Right.
He should have been recognized while he was alive. The greatest, in my opinion, the greatest voice I've ever heard live. I worked with a lot of people. Johnny was, listen, he charted as a solo act. He charted with the Brooklyn Bridge. He charted with the Crest. And he's had a 60-year career. What more did he need to do?
I don't know. I don't know what the criteria is. Nobody knows what the criteria is. So we can't answer that. But he did get his just desserts with the East Coast. There's a street named after him. And he has legions of fans.
If you drive down the concourse, you'll see the sign, Larry Chance, the street sign, and Larry Chance and the Earls. I'm very proud of that too.
Well, I'm actually going to the concourse tomorrow, and I'm not going to the courthouse. It's not for anything bad. And I'm going to take a picture of that and send it to you. Larry, one other point I want to touch on. One other song. What do you say about a song called I Believe? When it's a hit for so many people, Frankie Lane, Elvis Presley, dozens of singers, and then a new kid on the block in a new form of music, doo-wop, which was, in 1963 was still uncharted. It was not even 10 years old. So nobody knew if doo-wop was going to be around for a long, long time. But when you say, I believe to somebody, and I feel this because I'm an Elvis fanatic, they don't mention Elvis. And they don't mention Frankie Lane. They mention you. And I think it's because you do it so convincing, and then you use that song to beat one of life's hardest challenges. And I believe that because you did that, you were able to overcome your bout with cancer because you're such a believer in what you sing. What's your thoughts on that?
I was determined to come back from cancer because if I can't sing, I don't want to live. And I was just determined, and I knew I would. But, Larry died serving our nation. He was a member of the 82nd Airborne. And I wanted to, in some way, keep his memory alive. And we thought we would record I Believe, which at the time, believe it or not, was the flip side, the B-side of a song called Don't Forget, which I wrote. And it never made any charts anywhere back in the day. But little by us performing it live all the time, it just became a monster for us. And I dedicated also to our troops, our veterans, our fallen heroes, because they're the reason that we're all here. And I was 4F. I never got to serve. But I have much respect for those who did.
Of course, as we all do. You had once closed one of your shows with The House I Live In, which I think made even non-believers American that day. And that's a Sinatra anthem. I Believe is on the same plateau as that song. So when you say to me and all of our viewers that you don't think you're deserving of something or you don't think you're interesting, your name of the book should be I Believe by Larry Chance. And I think that should be your next project, because the amount of comments we have that just told us your recording gets people through misery, gets them through tough times, and gives them the hope that they don't have. And if you could do it, then they could do it. I think you are too humble of a man for your own good. I think you gave praise to a lot of people, and yet you deserve a fair share amount, Larry. So please, don't ever say. Okay.
I don't have the voice Johnny Maestro did. I don't have the hit records that a Bobby Rydell did, but I'm so honored to be even mentioned with those people. So I'm very appreciative of my life, and God gave me back my voice when I was told that it wasn't life-threatening, but I wouldn't sing again.
Right.
But I knew with hope and prayer and belief, I would do it. And the old horse is still going.
And you did. And you just celebrated your 80th birthday. You look phenomenal. You look phenomenal. And we're going to be there to celebrate your 81st somewhere, somehow. I'm going to make it.
I hope so.
I'm going to be there. Larry, we're saving your national anthem to end the show. So by no means is it meant disrespectful. We're going to play I Believe at the close of the show. But I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for doing this for me. You've been a friend for many years. And the only way that I know how to do this, because I'm a performer, is to thank you, is to give you the biggest round of applause that we can. So ladies and gentlemen watching out there in social media land, let's give this icon, Mr. Larry Chance, a big round of applause.
I want to give you my biggest bow.
Curtsy. Larry, thank you. Tell Nico we said goodnight.
Nico, come say goodnight. Come on.
Bye, Nico.
Say goodbye.
Everybody, check out LarryChanceandTheEarls.com for the bio, all the merchandise, and when we're back in action where he's going to be, you can count on me to bring Larry wherever we are. Larry, God bless you and Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. We'll see you real soon.
Happy New Year, everybody.
You got it. Wow. Folks, was that great? I think it was great. Larry is such a wonderful, humble person. And like I said, I think he sells himself short. Hopefully you guys and girls out there tonight learned a little bit something different about Larry Chance and the Earls. Check him out on the web. Join the Facebook group. If you like what we do, join my YouTube channel, which is Gene DiNapoli. Go to YouTube, subscribe to it. We're almost at 1,000 members. If I get to 1,000 members, then I get to do other things like live remotes and this and that. So please, if you enjoy what I do here, subscribe to Gene DiNapoli channel on YouTube. Want to talk about our sponsors for a second, and then we're going to tell you about next week's guest. So Anthony, please, sundrencedcruises.com, our friends Karen and Howard, for all your vacation needs, honeymoon getaways, and cruises. Destination weddings, sundrencedcruises.com. Check them out. For those of you that are into CBD products, oils, pills to help you fall asleep, little gummies, sweetheal.com. Mention my name, Gene, and get 20% off your orders and a free gift over $50. If you're looking for a CPA that could be really creative, well, we got a person for you. Francisco is known as the creative CPA, transfrancisco.com. Check them out on the Facebook or on the web for what she could do for you. Mention our podcast and get an hour consultation at no cost. Pure Organic Cleaners, 3166 Tremont Avenue. See our friend Wally. Mention the podcast. Pay for your top 3 items. Get a 4th one for free. Do we have enough? Anthony's gift baskets. In today's day and age, a lot of people can't go visit their families. So the next best thing is to send them a gift basket. Anthony's gift baskets. They're on our Facebook page, Reminiscing with Gene DiNapoli. hit the button that says offers, and all the information is there on all the different baskets you can send to your family and friends. We want to mention our friends at San Martino Restaurant on Yonkers on Young Avenue, our friends at Rigoletto's on Arthur Avenue, and our friends at the Bronxville Diner in Bronxville. We're going to be getting back to shows there real soon. Our friend Mike at Marina di Calabria on the Drake Avenue Marina. Ladies and gentlemen, next week, we bagged one of the original teen idols from the 50s, Jimmy Clanton. Who? Well, I'm sure you remember songs like Venus in Blue Jeans, Just a Dream, Go Jimmy Go, and many more. One of the original teen idols, Jimmy Clanton, will be with me next Monday, 7 o'clock. That's December 14th, 7 o'clock. And the only way this podcast could grow is if you share it on your pages and tell all your friends about me. If you like what I do, check out GeneDiNapoli.com. Join my Reminiscing with Gene DiNapoli page. Join my YouTube channel. Thank you all for the great comments. Everybody, you're so wonderful to spend a little time with us. We hope you enjoyed our interview with one of my favorites, Larry Chance of the Earls. Until next time, may God bless you. God bless America. Stay safe, stay positive, and stay well.
I believe for every drop of rain that falls, a flower grows. A flower grows. I believe that somewhere in the darkest night